cannot deny.
You got 2.5 minutes. The fans the time logarithmically.
You know you can contain it to one section!
Don't know. I don't know anything.
What are you gonna do with that?
Beneath this pillow lies the key to my release.
All right, so movie number 6, 3, and 2 on this list they're just always going to be some of my absolute favorites, like ever. And oh, by the way, every single movie I'm talking about today was actually just recently added to Prime.
She's been transferring funds for the last 6 months. The ground investigation. But as a parent, you can help us with who your daughter talks to. Is that something you can do?
Yes.
Okay, starting things off with Searching from 2018. It's a really unique mystery because the entire movie, it just happens on computer screens and phones. It starts out really sweet, showing this happy family through old videos. But then it gets really dark. The dad, his wife passed away by the way, he realizes his teenage daughter, she never came home from her study group. He tries calling her friends, but nothing. Nobody knows where she is. So he finally goes to the police to report her missing. The dad he's just so worried. He's desperate. So to help the detective find her, he actually breaks into his daughter's laptop. He starts looking through her social media, her private chats, her hidden folders, just trying to find, some kind of clue.
On Thursday?
Every day.
You don't think she's involved with anything serious? I know my daughter.
And the whole thing gets so tense because the more he looks, he realizes he didn't really know his daughter at all. She was keeping all these secrets. If you want a mystery that's super modern and just totally pulls you in, you're definitely gonna like this one.
They're all dead because they underestimated him. Ready for your final thrill? You know what I'm gonna do to you, right?
All right, so the next movie is Hoodlum, and this one is a really cool gangster movie set in the 1930s. It happens right during the Great Depression. The story's all about this huge secret lottery in Harlem where people were making a lot of money.
That shoots rights policy in Harlem!
I'll splatter this city with his blood.
So we follow this guy. He's a really tough ex-con who just got out of prison. He goes back to his old neighborhood, and he sees that his old boss, his mentor, who runs the lottery, is getting pushed out. There's this super angry, crazy mob boss from downtown trying to steal the business. To protect his neighborhood's money, the ex-con, he basically has to step up. He takes over the whole thing himself.
A war of wills.
Mr. Schultz insists on coming uptown. I have no choice but to make my presence felt downtown.
But doing that starts a massive, bloody war in the streets. It even brings in bigger mafia bosses. It gets really intense.
You ever go out with a cop? You don't like cops, do you?
No.
Moving on, we've got Colors. This is a police movie from the 80s. It was actually directed by Dennis Hopper. You might know him from Easy Rider. The story's about these two cops. They work in the gang unit.
If I do something, I expect you to back me up.
You have the older guy, he's been doing this a long time. He really wants to talk to the people in the community, to help stop the street violence. But he's partnered with this really young, angry new cop. The new guy just wants to fight and arrest everybody.
Out in the street, they're flying their colors, we're flying ours.
The whole movie feels super real. It just throws you right into the middle of these huge gang wars happening in the city.
The gangs rule the streets. The streets are at war. The war must be stopped.
And the tension between the two cops is a big part of the story because they handle all the madness completely differently.
In a world where nothing is what it seems.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world
I know he's here!
he didn't exist.
And then there's the usual suspects. This one it's just an absolute classic mystery. The whole thing starts with this massive explosion on a ship. Lots of people die.
I want to know why. 27 men died on that pier for what looks to be $91 million worth of dope that wasn't there.
The police find one guy who survived. He's a con artist, and he walks with a limp. So he sits down with the detective to explain, how everything went so wrong. He tells them how a few weeks earlier, he and 4 other criminals were put in a police lineup together, just randomly. They decide to team up for a robbery, but then they realize they're actually being controlled by this really scary crime boss, a guy that nobody has ever even seen.
I work for Kaiser Soze. He feels you owe him. He does not expect all of you to live, but those of you who do will have $91 million.
It's so suspenseful. It drops all these little clues and flashbacks while you try to guess what actually happened on that boat.
Mr. Lundegaard, mind if I sit down? Carrying quite a load here.
Where's Jerry? Got your damn money. Now where's my daughter?
Moving right along, we've got Fargo. And this one is, it's a really dark comedy, like a crime thriller. It was made by the Coen brothers. They're the guys who did The Big Lebowski. So the story starts with this guy, a car salesman. He owes so much money. He's totally desperate.
I'm Jerry Lundegaard. You got the car? You bet. Brand new burnt umbers here.
So he comes up with this crazy, just totally unhinged plan. He actually hires 2 guys, these really clumsy criminals, to kidnap his own wife.
You want your own wife kidnapped?
Her dad, he's real well off.
So why don't you just ask him for the money?
See, these are personal matters.
Personal matters?
Why? Because he wants to get a huge ransom from his father-in-law, who's, this rich, grumpy guy. But of course, nothing goes right. Absolutely nothing. The kidnapping just turns into a total mess, and it leaves a bunch of, dead bodies out in the freezing snow.
And then this execution type deal.
$1 million, a lot of damn money. They got my daughter.
Then we meet the local police chief. She's this super polite and heavily pregnant lady, and she basically has to start investigating all these murders. It's a wild ride.
Buckaroo, President's on line 1, calling about is everything okay with the alien space club?
Next up on the list is a really weird one, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the 8th Dimension. It's just a totally crazy sci-fi action comedy. It's about this guy who is he's a brain surgeon, a scientist, and the lead singer of a rock band, all at the same time. He invents this super cool jet car that can actually drive through solid walls.
We are in pursuit. He is gaining, over.
But when he tests it out by driving right through a mountain, he accidentally opens a door into another dimension. And this basically wakes up a group of really angry aliens who have actually been hiding on Earth for years. So now our hero and his team of, weird, smart friends, they have to stop these disguised aliens before they start a massive war on Earth. The whole movie is just pure chaos.
So, I guess I'm an outlaw too.
Your left eye is a fraction darker than your right one.
Nobody ever noticed.
Okay, and then we have Bandits. This one is like a really fun crime comedy, but it has some romance mixed in too. The story is about these 2 friends who escape from prison together.
Tonight we have an incredible story. It's a story of Joe Blake and Terry Collins, the most successful bank robbers in the history of the United States.
And they are just totally different. One guy is this super smooth talker, and the other guy is always nervous, constantly worried about getting sick. They come up with this really smart plan to rob banks. They go to the bank manager's house the night before, kidnap them, sleep over, and then just walk into the bank with them the next morning.
Bingo what? Are you gonna knock over a bank with a magic marker? What are you gonna do? Write on them?
Don't move, take out your gun, thumb and middle finger on the butt.
With you, it's not that difficult. You walk in, you ask for the money, you walk out.
It works perfectly. Well, until they accidentally run into this really bored, unhappy housewife. She basically demands to go with them on their crime spree. And the whole thing gets super funny because both of the robbers actually start falling in love with her.
You're the sleepover bandits.
She said she doesn't have any place to stay.
I'm going with you.
So they end up in this really weird love triangle while they're literally running away from the FBI. It's a lot of fun to watch.
You want it in. You're going to get 10%. So you earn your keep.
$2,600,000 in cash.
Okay, so moving on. Next up, we have the Thomas Crown Affair, the one from 1968. And it's just this really stylish, romantic crime movie. So it's about this guy, a super rich millionaire. He basically has, everything he could ever want.
Whose head are you after?
Yours.
Mine.
But he's just bored, so he decides to plan this huge, perfect bank robbery, not for the money, but literally just for the thrill of it. He hires this team of complete strangers, guys who don't even know each other, and they actually pull it off. They do it perfectly and hide all the cash. But then the bank's insurance company, they send in this really smart, tough female investigator to, figure out who did it. And she figures it out pretty fast. She zeroes right in on the millionaire. But the crazy part is, instead of him just hiding, they actually start playing this intense, this really high-stakes game of cat and mouse. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Have you ever felt so alone? Just don't die, okay? Because I would die without you, and then we'd both be dead.
You better work, bitch.
All right, next on the list is The Spy Who Dumped Me. This one is, it's just a really fast, funny action movie. So it's about this totally normal girl. She works as a cashier, and she suddenly finds out that her ex-boyfriend, the boring guy who just dumped her, is actually a real-life international spy.
They'll want what you've got, and they'll kill each and every one of us until they get it.
Oh my God.
And he actually shows up at her apartment, and there's a bunch of deadly assassins literally chasing him. So she and her best friend, who is just super chaotic, by the way, they suddenly have to go on the run, all the way across Europe. And they have no idea what they're doing. They are completely out of their depth. They're dodging hitmen, stealing cars, just trying to deliver this top secret flash drive to save the world.
Is this really happening? Yeah, because you dated a spy. Come here. Oh my God.
Even though they have absolutely zero training for this. The whole movie is just really energetic, and it's hilarious because, it really leans into just how ridiculous the situations are for these two completely normal women.
Give me the coordinates right now.
You have 12 hours.
Just tell your boys to back off.
So the next one is Into the Blue. It's basically a really sunny action thriller. It follows this guy, a treasure hunter who's kind of struggling. He lives in the Bahamas with his girlfriend, and he's just really hoping to get rich.
You know I live on this broken boat with you, right?
You live in a trailer. You got a boat on blocks.
Then his wealthy friend comes to visit with his new girlfriend. They all go diving together, and they actually find this legendary pirate shipwreck at the bottom of the ocean.
Find something? Yeah.
But right next to the ship, they find something else. They find a crashed airplane, and it's totally loaded with millions of dollars in illegal drugs. So they make a secret promise to each other. They decide to just keep quiet about both things so they can claim the pirate gold first. But yeah, things just get completely crazy when the really dangerous drug smugglers, they start looking for their missing drugs. And it just gets super chaotic from there.
Hey, who the hell are you?
How many people are left alive down there?
That tunnel is sealed from both ends. Now what the hell's the way in?
So the next one we're looking at is Daylight. It's this really intense action, like a disaster movie. And the guy who directed it actually made the very first Fast and the Furious later on. So it all happens in this huge underground tunnel, the one that connects Manhattan and New Jersey. People are just driving home from work, totally normal evening. But then these thieves who are running away, they accidentally crash their getaway car right into these trucks. And the trucks are carrying, highly explosive chemicals. It just causes this massive, terrifying explosion.
Right into the tunnel.
Oh, we got a live one here. Get a crew ready.
It completely blocks both ends of the tunnel. So now you have all these terrified people trapped down there, basically underwater. There's this guy, he used to be an emergency rescue worker, but he got fired. He just happens to be right there when it happens. So he has to figure out how to break into this collapsing tunnel.
If I'm all you've got, why don't you meet me halfway? Is that fair enough?
If you bring in the heavy equipment and cause a pressure shift, the whole damn thing could implode.
And once he gets in, he has to guide all these panicked survivors through the rising water and all this toxic smoke. It's really stressful, but so good.
A world unlike any you have ever seen.
Okay, moving on to Waterworld. This one is a huge sci-fi action movie. The story happens way in the future. The ice caps melted, so the entire Earth is it's completely covered in water. People are barely surviving on these big floating towns made out of junk.
The future. The polar ice caps have melted.
This place, this whole way of living, it's ending.
We follow this one guy, he's a drifter, and he actually has mutations. He just sails around the ocean all by himself. He stops at this trading post to sell some actual dirt, which, dirt is basically priceless to them now. But then everything just goes crazy. This brutal army of pirates, they ride around on jet skis. They suddenly attack the whole town. The drifter manages to get away, but he kind of gets stuck taking this tough woman with him, and a little girl too. And the crazy thing about the little girl is she supposedly has a map to dry land tattooed right on her back. The whole movie feels exactly like Mad Max, but on the water.
Now, tell me, who are you? I am Hercules!
And then we have Hercules. But this isn't the normal story you know. It's a really big action adventure, but it totally twists the old myths. The movie starts after Hercules has already done his famous 12 labors. But instead of acting like a noble god, he's just fighting for money now. He travels around ancient Greece with his close group of friends. They're all really good fighters, and they just work for whoever pays them the most gold. So this desperate king hires them. He wants Hercules to take a bunch of simple farmers and train them into a tough army to fight this supposed magical warlord.
They are the descendants of Hades. They cannot be killed by an ordinary mortal.
The people need you.
I am no hero.
But as they get ready for this huge war, Hercules starts to realize that the king isn't telling the whole truth. Things are way more shady than they seem. The whole movie is just a really fun time.
Some try to beat the system, but no one has ever survived.
All right, so let's talk about Gamer. This is It's a really fast, wild sci-fi action movie. And get this, it was actually made by the same guys who did the Crank movies, so you know it's just totally crazy. It's set in the future, and there's this tech billionaire guy who basically creates a real-life video game, but it's super messed up.
It's Simon. I'm playing you.
Rich teenagers actually use mind control on prisoners who are on death row, and they force them to fight in real, live war zones on TV. The deal is, if a prisoner survives 30 games, they get to go free. So we follow this one guy. He's the best player in the whole game. He's actually a soldier who was, wrongly put in prison. And he only has a few matches left to win his freedom.
He's a perfect soldier. He is what they want.
27 battles. That was ever done. The man was ever come that close.
But he figures out the whole system is rigged against him. They don't actually want him to win, so he has to find a way to just break free from the kid who's controlling his body.
Your face. Feel your hands in mine.
Don't stop! Then we have The Gray. This one is... Man, it's a really rough survival movie. It's about this guy, a shooter, who works at a super lonely oil rig in Alaska. He's really depressed, and his only job is just shooting wild animals to protect the other workers.
A job at the end of the world. I work security, protecting men from the dangers they cannot see.
So their shift is finally over. He gets on a plane to go home, along with a bunch of these really tired workers. But the plane flies straight into this massive snowstorm, and it crashes right in the middle of nowhere. Most of the people on board don't make it, so it's just a few guys left, freezing in the deep snow, and they have almost no food or supplies.
Fire. Then we find food. If we don't move and work now, we'll all freeze to death.
And as if freezing to death wasn't bad enough, they realized something else. They actually crashed right in the middle of a hunting ground for a pack of really huge, angry wolves. It's incredibly tense.
$1,000, the girl catches him.
A new breed of knockout.
And then we've got the Charlie's Angels movies. There are 2 parts you can watch, but let's just stick to the first one from the year 2000 for now. It is such an iconic, just a really fun action comedy from that era. It's all about these 3 women. They are private investigators, but they're super highly trained.
My name is Charlie.
Meet the most elite crime-fighting force.
They work for this rich, secret boss, but they only ever hear his voice coming out of a little speaker box. They never see him. These girls are just experts at everything, wearing disguises, doing martial arts, spy stuff, all of it.
They've got techniques. Drew Barrymore.
I figured we could have a little breakfast.
The main story starts when this super smart tech billionaire gets kidnapped, literally right out of his own office, and someone steals his brand new voice tracking software too. So the 3 angels get hired to track down the rival boss who supposedly took him.
Meet Roger Corwin. He's planning to steal a new software that can trace a voice signal anywhere in the world.
They have to go deep undercover, sneaking into these really fancy parties and big secure company buildings. It's just a blast to watch.
You let me worry about that.
What are you gonna do with that?
I'm gonna shoot at them, Danny.
All right, so next up we have Operation Fortune, Ruse de Guerre. And this one is just a really stylish, a really fun action comedy spy movie.
You said it was clear.
I said the front was clear.
It was actually made by Guy Ritchie. You probably know his stuff, like The Gentleman or Snatch. So the story is about this super elite spy. The government hires him to find this stolen top secret weapon before someone sells it on the black market.
You can't catch this fish with conventional lures.
I'm sorry?
The lure being Tony Francesco, the movie star.
But to get close to the bad guy, this weird billionaire who's selling the weapon, the spy and his team come up with this just totally crazy plan. They actually blackmail a famous Hollywood action star. They force the actor to go on the mission with them.
There's a sensitive and awkward situation between you and your sister-in-law.
I actually love my sister-in-law.
No need to be nervous.
No reason to be nervous. They're all the killers.
Basically using him as bait, because the billionaire is just completely obsessed with the guy's movies. It's a really funny setup.
Somehow, he's overriding the system's priorities.
The human element will always be present. Compassion, fear, instinct, they will always interfere with the system.
Next on the list is the RoboCop series. Now, there are actually 4 of these movies up right now, but I'm just going to talk about the original one from the year 1987 because it's just a total classic. It's a sci-fi action movie, but it's also really funny in a dark way. It happens in Detroit sometime in the near future. The city is just overrun with crime, and the police force it's basically owned by this super evil, greedy company. We followed this really good, honest cop. It's his very first day after transferring, and he gets brutally attacked by a gang.
All Detroit has a cancer. The cancer is crime.
But instead of just letting him die, the big company basically takes his body and they actually bring him back to life as this completely unstoppable, heavily armored robot cop.
Protect the innocent. Let the woman go, or there will be trouble. You are under arrest.
What is this shit?
His programming tells him to just clean up the streets, and he's great at it. But things get really messy when he starts having these flashes, like memories from his old human life just bleeding through.
What? I agree, it's not my best disguise. You know my methods.
Shall we get to work?
Your clock is ticking.
Okay, moving right along, let's talk about Sherlock Holmes. There are actually 2 movies available for this one, but I'm just gonna focus on the first part today. It's a really gritty, fun action mystery. So, it starts off in this super creepy crypt in London, like back in the old Victorian days. You have this genius, but totally weird detective.
There isn't any time to waste there, is there?
And his best friend, who's a doctor. And they're literally racing to stop this terrifying guy from doing a human sacrifice. They actually manage to catch him. He gets arrested and, well, he's sentenced to hang. But before they do it, the bad guy he basically looks right at the detective and warns him that dying isn't gonna stop him.
Or your mess, your general lack of hygiene, or the fact that you steal my clothes.
Be a lady.
And yeah, soon as the guy is officially declared dead, his tomb is just, boom, blasted open from the inside. And people all over town start saying they've actually seen him walking around. It's super spooky.
He's one mean motherfucker that you do not want to mess with.
And then we have Sisu. Now, this one is, man, it's a completely brutal historical action movie. It happens way out in the wilderness in Finland, right at the very end of World War II. We follow this old guy, a gold miner, who is just totally silent. And he finally strikes it rich. Like, he digs up this huge amount of gold. So he packs up his horse and his cute little dog and starts this really long walk to the nearest bank. But along the way, he accidentally runs into this big, heavily armed group of Nazi soldiers. The cruel commander of the soldiers, he decides to just steal the gold and kill the old man.
This old fucker is a gold miner. We're rich boys. Get down on your knees. Fuck him up!
But what he doesn't know is this quiet old miner is actually a legendary, like a practically unkillable former soldier himself. The whole movie is just incredibly gritty. It's super bloody and just completely wild as this one guy unleashes absolute hell on these soldiers.